go ahead and begin this press conference with the groundbreaking, but before we completely begin, I'd like to take a time to make mention of one of our brothers, Mr. Samuel Keene, who suffered a fatal gunshot wound last night near his home in Porter. So I'm going to ask everyone to just bow their heads for a moment of silence. Thank you. So we're here today to recognize the construction of Fire Station 84. It's a long-awaited addition to the community and to the Houston Fire Department. I'd like to thank some very special guests for honoring us with their attendance. First and foremost, the Honorable Mayor Annise D, Fire Chief Terry Garrison, Assistant Fire Chief Mark Donovan. Councilmember Jerry Davis couldn't make it, but he did send a staffer with him, his Chief of Staff, Sam Dickey. And we also have Sally Bradford here. She's with the executive directors of the TRZ 11, that is the redevelopment group here in the Greenspoint area. And from GSD, we have Mr. Wilkins over here. So we appreciate everybody being here. The new Fire Station 84 is going to be very special. It's going to be a large station, 5 bays. It will be over 15,000 square feet. What's unique to this station, it's one of the geothermal heating and cooling. They're going to have the polished concrete floors, and they'll have a small public lobby, an opportunity to be able to, if we have a citizen come in, we can put them in an area of privacy, perform an evaluation if they're a walk-in and potential customer of ours that might need some medical care. The station is going to be constructed by J.E. Dunn Construction Company. It was designed by the Brown, Reynolds, and Watford Architect Group, which are here with us today. And we'd like to thank, again, General Services Department, Jack Welkers, Richard Vela, and of course, Director Mr. Scott Minix. So at this time, I'd like to introduce to you the Fire Chief for the Houston Fire Department, Terry Garrison.
Thank you, Captain. We are extremely excited. The fire department, we get to live in this building and serve the public from this structure, but we absolutely understand that it took a whole lot of people to put this program together, and we thank all of you. The partnerships are so valuable in our community. You know, the firefighters, we will be staying here 24 hours a day. There's going to be 10 firefighters here on 4 different shifts. We're going to treat this as if it's our home, but we're going to understand and respect the fact that it is a part of the community. We want every one of our firefighters to be an ambassador for the community. We are here to serve you. Our primary missions are to serve the public and keep our firefighters safe. So on behalf of the nearly 4,000 firefighters, many of who will be responding out of this station to several calls. We have about an average of 850 calls a day. This is going to be a busy station, especially since I hear how this community is growing so much and all the other ideas and programs that are going to move forward. So we're excited to be a part of this. We're excited about the groundbreaking, and on behalf of all the firefighters in the city of Houston and those citizens that we're going to serve, thank you very, very much. At this time, I'd like to introduce my boss, Honorable Mayor Annise Parker. Thank you.
So if this canopy takes off, I hope someone grabs it. It may. Really happy to be out here. We are a growing city. We're one of the fastest growing regions in the United States, and we, as a city, constantly have to juggle the needs of the older, built-up neighborhoods in the city and the fast-growing edges of the city. We have to recognize where movement is happening and try to make sure that we keep up the infrastructure, not just the horizontal infrastructure, but the vertical infrastructure that has to support that kind of growth. Currently, this area's nearest station is Fire Station 74 over on Aldine Bender, about 3 miles from here. And I looked up the stats. It had more than 7,800 responses last year. more than 6,800 EMS calls and a little over 1,000 fire calls. The goal is always to try to distribute the load as equally as we can across the city in our fire stations. But as I said, make sure that we build out the necessary services of the city to keep pace with our rapidly growing community. At the same time, as we build new structures across the city, we are approaching them with an eye to sustainability, to be able to conserve electricity, to use materials that hold up long term. And as the chief said, since this is home away from home for our firefighters, to try to build with an eye to comfort as well as functionality. We have many older fire stations that are bursting at the seams, where we have very active stations. We have a lot of firefighters on duty, and they're on top of each other all the time. This station is going to be built not just with an eye to sustainability in terms of the environment and energy use, water conservation, but it is going to be built with an eye to long-term growth patterns and the comfort of the firefighters who will be living here. So on behalf of the City of Houston, I'm happy to be out here. This is a symbol of the growth and development of the City of Houston, but it is also going to be a symbol of our commitment to a greener and more sustainable future. So thanks for helping me be a part of this great day in the community.
Unfortunately, one of our most engaged council members, Mr. Jerry Davis, couldn't be here, part because he has so many responsibilities, but he did send his chief of staff here to give some remarks. So now I'm going to introduce Mr. Sam DK.
DK.
Good morning. My name is Sam DK, and I'm here representing Vice Mayor Pro Tem and Councilmember Jerry Davis for District B. I'd like to welcome you all to the Greens Point area, and thank you for making this project a reality. This is a community that has always been a major supporter of the Houston Fire Department, and we are looking forward to the tentative completion date, which is later this year. I want to thank Mayor Parker and her administration for making this a reality, and also thank Chief Garrison and Miss Sally Bradford for providing the funds necessary for this to go up. With over 34,000 residents and over 1,700 businesses here in the Greens Point area, Greens Point is on the rise. And so I want to thank you all for being a part of this rise. Every community that's growing needs a public safety infrastructure, and we're taking that step here today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. DK. And at this time, I want to introduce one of the executive directors of the TIRZ 11, the redevelopment group here in Greens Point, which is Miss Sally Bradford.
Good morning. I'm speaking on behalf of Elvin Franklin, our chair, and our board here today. They asked me to say a few things about the TIRZ because a lot of people don't know what a TIRZ is. We were created in 1998 by state legislature, and at that time boundaries were established for a zone, and the tax base at that time was established. And after that, taxes that are increased, those property taxes come back to the TIRZ to provide public projects for the area within the zone. We're very fortunate because we have 5 increment partners: the City of Houston, Harris County, 2 school districts, Aldine and Spring, and Lone Star College. And over the years, we provided many parks, new streets, sidewalks, bridges, public art. But a few years ago, we looked at some property here close to our office building and said, what a wonderful place for a public safety center for the City of Houston. So we purchased this 10 acres and donated it to the city to build a fire station, a 5-bay fire station. And along with that, in the distant future, a police station on the same property. We are contributing $7.3 million toward the construction of the fire station. And we're thrilled, because what a better way to spend your public funds than on a fire station, and to leverage the City of Houston funds. So we are thankful to the City of Houston and to the Building Services Department, and also for the firefighters that will be housed here, because you will be keeping this community safe, and we're grateful for that. Thank you very much.
This time, we're just going to thank everyone for joining us, from the architect groups, GSD, members of the city, and the department, and most of all, the men and women in hard hats over there that truly make sure that this station is going to be constructed, and be constructed well. This is going to conclude the press conference.